Goody Gumnut. Story and illustrations by Susan Oldknow. Goody was sitting in a flowering gum tree, playing his violin. "I'm Goody Gumnut," he said to a little girl sitting right under him. "What's your name?" asked Goody Gumnut. "And why do you look so bleak?" The little girl said, "I'm Lily Pilly," and a tear ran down her cheek. "Tell me what's wrong, Lily Pilly," said Goody, and gave her a great big grin. "Oh, Goody," said Lily, "it's all so horrid, I just don't know where to begin." "I've lost my home," sighed Lily, and she started to cry again. "Where did you see it last?" asked Goody, and Lily had to explain. "It's gone. It was eaten by fire," said Lily, so scared that she whispered in awe. Now Goody wasn't a silly Billy. He'd heard about fire before, but what it was and why it came, he really wasn't sure. He imagined a big red roaring monster eating everything it saw. "Well, don't be sad, Lily," said Goody, shaking thoughts of the monster away. "You're in luck. I'm moving into old Grandma Possum's house today. It's more than big enough for two. It's a home that we can share, and we can play music together. We'll be such a happy pair. You can have my old guitar, and I'll play my violin. We'll be the Goody Gumnut duo and make such a lovely din." The new friends laughed happily together, and the kookaburra joined right in. I should explain about Goody's new house and why Grandma Possum's gone. You see, Grandma was invited to go to the town and live with her youngest son. He has a lovely cosy home in the Roof for People house, and Grandma Possum is very old and finds it hard to get about. But she wouldn't leave her gum tree house till she found a nice new tenant. She was overjoyed when Goody said that it would be quite convenient for him to move into her lovely home just as soon as she said he may. Grandma packed up her bags and left with a smile for the city the very next day. "That house sounds nice. Could I come too?" exclaimed a cheerful voice, and up popped Holly Flamepea from behind a bottle brush. "Oh, please, Goody," Lily pleaded. "That would be such a kind thing to do. I know Holly. She's lots of fun, and she's lost her home too." Lily and Holly waited patiently for Goody to decide, and a little green tree frog waited too, quietly beside them. "That would mean that we'd be three. I guess we could give it a go. All right, Holly can play the tin whistle in the Goody Gumnut trio." "Can I live with you too?" said a small worried face peering out from a black wattle tree. "That's Honey Myrtle," Holly explained. "He's as shy can be." And the sleepy koala listening above them nodded wisely and had to agree. "He was my neighbour, but he never said boo, so I don't know that much about him." "He looks so frightened," kind Lily said. "Oh, Goody, we can't go without him." Goody thought for a minute. "You're right, girls," he said. "The poor boy is very upset. Honey Myrtle can join us and play the accordion in the new Goody Gumnut Quartet." Goody was proud that he knew that word and the fact that quartet means four. When they all played together, they had so much fun that they wanted to play more and more. And a listening rock wallaby pricked up his ears and loudly exclaimed, "Encore!" They finally finished their loud, happy tune and were sitting, enjoying the hush, when suddenly a voice, from nowhere it seemed, shattered the peace of the bush. "Not that I'm desperate," said a loud, haughty voice. "Not that any old place would do. But I seem, at the moment at least, as they say, to be between houses too." friends looked around to see who this could be and just saw a big red-backed spider. But then the grass parted and soon they could see a tall, elegant creature beside her. "Oh no," moaned Holly, "it's Fuchsia Heath. She has got such a big head." Goody stared and stared at Fuchsia's head till her head went a shade of red. "It looks quite small to me," said Goody. "No, Goody," Holly explained. "She's vain and conceited and she thinks she knows everything. She really is quite a pain." As a baby echidna sniffed at the tin whistle, Goody thought for a minute again. "Good," said Goody. "If she knows everything, then she won't tell me wrong. What is this fire that ate your homes, and where does it come from?" "Oh, that's easy," yawned Fuchsia Heath. "It's the people, you see. The people make the air dirty, and that makes the weather angry. The sun gets very fierce, the clouds refuse to cry, and then the bush and all the land gets very, very dry. And when everything is dry and hot, and the wind decides to blow, the fire comes to eat the land. The rest I think you know." "Oh no," cried Goody Gumnut. "The people sound so rotten. Grandma's gone to live with them. That's no place for a possum. Do you think she'll be all right?" "I'm sure she'll be just fine. There's good and bad in everyone," and Honey's smile was bright. "And if there's good in everyone, there's good in Fuchsia now. She's just like us. She's lost her home. Is there room for her in ours?" Goody thought things might get squishy with 5 in Grandma's place, but Honey's words were very true, and he'd made a fervent case. "Fine," he said. "Fuchsia Heath will play the 8-stringed mandolin. She'll play so well that butterflies and ladybirds will sing. With a Goody Gumnut, what's the word for 5? And Goody thought. "Quintet," said Fuchsia Heath, who knew the word for everything, of course. The quintet sat on the riverbank and played for a platypus. "We sound quite grand," said Goody. "I am really proud of us. I think the 5 is just the right amount for Grandma's house. We couldn't fit another in, not even a little mouse." An angry voice yelled, "You better let me in or you'll be sorry." "Oh no, it's Beronia Brown," squeaked a very frightened Honey. "Well, if it isn't Myrtle the Turtle," teased mean Beronia Brown. "Don't call him that," said Lily Pilly, and she gave him her sternest frown. "Who's going to stop me, silly Lily Pilly?" "Silly Lily," said the parrot in the tree. "Are you going to stop me, silly Lily Pilly? You and whose army?" "I don't understand," said Goody Gumnut. "Why are you being so cruel?" "What's it to you, Goody Gumdrop?" he said. "Don't you know that I'm too cool for school?" "It's Gumnut, Goody Gumnut," said Goody. "But you already knew that, I bet. And I have declared myself leader of the new Goody Gumnut Quintet." "Quintet, that's a stupid word," teased Brown, and he gave a self-satisfied smile. Said Goody, and smiling right back, he sat down and thought for a while. "You're right. If you join us, we could be something else. That could be fun." Everyone stared in disbelief. "No!" yelled everyone. "Did you lose your house too, Mr. Too Cool for School? Did the fire come and eat it?" asked Goody. "He can't share with us, Goody," said Lily and Holly. "He doesn't know how. He's a bully." "Just ask Mr. Wombat." "Oh dear, He's asleep. Well, if he were awake, he would tell you. Baronia Brown's always calling him names like Slow Coach or Dummy or Fatso. But maybe, said Goody, it's like Honey said. You can find good in everybody. Perhaps we could all give Baronia a chance to see just how good he could be. Suddenly, Baronia Brown looked quite sad. I really have nowhere to live, and I haven't got friends. But if I can change, then you might all start to forgive. The Goody Gumnut Quintet made a circle of friends so that they could all talk it over. And a spotty green lizard clung to a tree and kept a good eye on Baronia. Finally, the circle of friends broke up and everyone gathered round Brown. Well, he asked rather hopefully, hardly daring to make a sound. Even an emu grazing close by was standing with breath abated. All of the bush seemed to hold its breath as Baronia stood and waited. Then Goody spoke in his most serious voice. "It is the verdict of this assembly." He paused for a moment and everyone gasped, for dramatic effect, don't you see, "that you should join the Goody Gumnut. The Goody Gumnut. Now what name can we be?" "Gang?" suggested Baronia Brown. And Goody yelled, "Yippee! That's it!" shouted Goody Gumnut. "We are the Goody Gumnut Gang." "But what instrument can he play?" asked Lily, "in this Goody Gumnut band?" "Baronia Brown will play," said Goody, "the rattling lagerphone." And then there was 6, and no one had to live all on their own. They all shared Grandma Possum's house, and what was really grand was they could practice any time they liked and became a fine bush band. The end.